Andy, speaking after dinner. As probably most of you know, Andy's probably one of the best speakers in the club. He always delivers a great speech, and today was no exception. The speaking after dinner, my impression at the beginning was that we were having dinner at Andy's house, and then we were finishing, we ate the dessert, and Andy got up and started speaking, but after getting the manual, it turns out that it would be more of a group setting where there was a big group, people sitting at a lot of tables, and then Andy would be the speaker after that sort of dinner, not a cozy dinner at his home, but a dinner in a meeting place. The goals of his speech was to entertain the audience by weaving jokes and or dramatic or humorous stories around a recognizable theme. And I think Andy did an excellent job of doing this. His theme, of course, was going through the path of greatest resistance, and then he used 3 stories to illustrate that point. And his 3 stories started out with his golf, and it was humorous. Talked about that he's a horrible golfer. He started when he was young. And then he got into how he lost a ball, had to go through a thicket to try and find it, and then really found a jackpot of balls. And when doing that, he really used a lot of movement, got over, bending down, picking up the balls. So great movement with that. That really added to the story. Then he went into his ski story, the same sort of thing, where he had to go through the thicket trying to get to where the goods were, and he found them. And used some great alliteration there. Once he found his little path of skiing, he was yipping and yelping as he was skiing down. That was great. And then he went into, then he kind of turned the tables on us, turned the story quite a bit by going into the dramatic with the story of Laura Murphy and her cancer, and how she used, she was not a survivor, but she was a warrior, and she gained, instead of being alive for 2 months, she was alive for 7. So that was a great dramatic turn, and I think got the audience's attention. That was really good. And then he was supposed to conclude his story on a high note. And what did Andy do? He got the audience involved, and we all did a toast to Laura. Even though many of us probably don't know Laura, we were all involved in that story. So great job, Andy, on that. What could you improve on? Not much. Maybe a little more alliteration and things like that in the story. Maybe a little more movement. You know, when you're a horrible golfer, you know, good golfers have a nice swing. My swing's like this. And, you know, then the ball ends up in the thicket. And the skiing, you could have been really, you know, cruising down on that run. But other than that, great story, great job. We always look forward to your speeches. Thanks, Andy.